Okay, next question. Question number 3, and this is from Stephen K. Anthony and Sarah, in sport we have rules. Then we have unsporting behaviour, which is different. I've raced as a cat too last year, and to be honest, I pushed the boundaries with sporting and unsporting behaviour to get promoted. And last year, I think I got a bit of a name as an aggressive cyclist within the bunch. Anthony, do you think, particularly in the racing bunch, there is even such a thing as unsporting behaviour? It really seems like the rules of the jungle in there. Anything goes and it's eat or be eaten. Is there a line that you would never cross?
Yeah, like this lad has got it so badly wrong. Like there's 100% unsporting behaviour. Like you're a cat too. Catch yourself on. Like people have work the next day. People are picking up the kids from school later that day. Like you're pushing the line between sporting and unsporting behaviour. There's no place for it in cycling. It's dangerous at the best of times. You don't need people with unsporting behaviour. Obviously, there's a rush in certain points. There's going to be a pinch to get to the front, and there's only a fixed number of places. The road's 10 wide, and there's 100 people trying to be at the front. But bike handling sorts that out. Like, you know, one person's going to be able to go through gaps that others aren't, and fitness sorts it out. And they're the people that are at the front, the most experienced, the fittest, not the people who are most aggressive. Like there's a way to move through the bunch. And I've had this conversation last year with one of our lads in Roadman, where like, as you're moving through the bunch, you can fight someone for a wheel, and you can be like, oh, you know, you're both trying to go for this little gap, or you're both trying to basically cram two people. There's only one person can go into this gap. So you're in a position where you're fighting someone else to get into this gap. Like a much nicer way to do it is like, you try and move through the bunch. And I learned it from just watching one of the best Irish riders, Kieran Power. And I had a team manager who said to me, just follow him and watch him for a couple of days in a race. And I just watched how he moved through the bunch. And he moved through the bunch like speed dating. And so that's what I was trying to do now. He'd touch guys on the hip and he'd be like, oh, how are you doing, Paddy? How's it getting on? How's the family? You mind if I get into that little gap there? Cheers, really appreciate it. And up to the next person, talk to them. I actually need to get up the front there to talk to a teammate. Any chance I can just move through that? I'll catch you later. How are you fixed for food? All the way through. And he'll go around the bunch making friends. Yeah. And there's no fighting for wheels. There's no unsporting behaviour. Everybody is safer for it. Nobody likes a rider who's unpredictable. Nobody likes a rider who's unsporting. And the guys who are sporting, the guys who are at the front of the race, the guys who are fitter, the guys who are experienced, they can also have a nasty enough side if they need to get rid of riders who are unsporting. There's a common understanding at the front that everyone's predictable and safe, and that's why they're allowed near the front, not because they're somehow laws of the jungle.
Yeah, I agree. Stephen K. Wow, I think that you need to kind of change your outlook in this. I mean, I have very limited experience racing, but certainly if there's somebody kind of bullying and unsporting behaviour means to me, well, a million things. I mean, is he also in the car park letting down tyres? Is he putting laxatives into people's bottles? Like, how far does this go? But yeah, Stephen, I think certainly have a listen to Anthony's advice there and pull it back a little bit. Jesus.